Thanks, everyone. Hi, my name's Christine Art. I'm the sales director for Ringgold. And what my presentation today is really a plea to clean it all up. I should come up here with like a broom and a dustpan and all of that. But what we're talking about is the fact that our data, the title of the panel is Small Data, Big Benefits, and we're all sitting kind of on a potential gold mine. We're all generating and receiving an enormous amount of data about our end users and our institutions and all the different roles they play. And there's really an enormous amount of information and actionable knowledge kind of hidden within there if we could only kind of get to it and make it fit for purpose. Okay? Sorry. Okay. Thanks very much. This is a little funky up here. Sorry. behind the scenes. But first off, I want to talk about Ringgold, where we fit into the landscape. We have experience helping publishers turn the raw data into an asset which can be used for a lot of different business purposes, and we do this via the application of persistent identifiers for institutions and also structured metadata about those organizations. We're a small for-profit database publisher. And we were founded to solve, our founder worked with one particular publisher, Oxford University Press, in 2003, to solve a problem of having poor source data related to institutional subscribers, the universe of institutional subscribers. They wanted to be able to improve operations and gain greater insight and, frankly, holdings reports, total holdings reports into their customers, and realized they could only do this by getting down and dirty, getting to the individual record level, disambiguating them, disambiguating each institution, and improving the quality of the data they held about each relevant organization. So in our founders' work, it became evident this was not a unique problem by any means, and I have a long history working with publishers, and I too have sifted through my own subscriber data trying to make sense of it at the time, and that really the whole community could benefit from a persistent identifier for institutions. So we began building an authority file of organizations, each one uniquely identified with the Ringgold identifier. And a lot of people, if they don't know anything about us, they say, oh, there are those people with those institutional IDs. That's us. So we've become part of the infrastructure that allows scholarly information to be more easily exchanged between systems, and a trusted data partner to help support publishers and other intermediaries kind of enhance the quality of that data. Okay? Okay, sorry, it just does not want to do its thing. Where's my AV gentleman? Sorry, it doesn't want to advance. I'm hitting all kinds of things. Hitting all the things.
Maybe he's at the next.
What? Sorry, guys. I really apologize. This is well, we'll get on to it. Well, the identified database is the source file that we use, and what it is. No, I tried all of them. I tried all the buttons.
Okay.
No. Okay. If he comes back, somebody let me know. I'll just keep talking. So what the identified database is a database of 420,000 organizations and scholarly communications, and there are kind of three features that uniquely define it. The unique ID is a number that we apply to each organization in the database, so that there's, like, for example, there's 3 organizations in the world whose official acronym is UCLA. Well, we kind of think we know it's the one in Los Angeles, but there's several. There's like 2 more in South America. So we really want to know which one are we really talking about, okay? The other thing we do is we classify each organization with about 25 pieces of metadata describing what it is. Is this a pharmaceutical company? Is this a department of pharmacy? Is this a hospital? What is this organization? And lots of other things. Subject taxonomies, tiering information, what sector is it in, and lots more. And the third thing we do in the database is organize it into a series of parent-child relationships, because in institutional land it's really helpful to understand that, say, Harvard Medical School is part of Harvard, and also so is the Harvard Business School, and oh, by the Broad Institute, which is also part owned by Harvard and MIT. So we need to understand those networks. So those are the things we do in the identified database. Okay? So it's essentially, it's evolved into an authority file used in the scholarly space. Okay? So when we talk about small data today, what are we talking about? We're talking about individual records, metadata elements, persistent IDs, transactional records about our users, okay? Payments, usage, that kind of thing. And if those small data elements are inaccurate, incomplete in any way, it adds up to kind of not a very useful big picture, okay? And that's where we're all getting to. So to make it truly useful, we're talking today about marketing to end users, but there are lots of different uses for kind of improved data. And at Ringgold, we see a lot of publisher source data, and the issues that we have, what's preventing us from using our data to best advantage. We see problems fall into three categories. First is entity management, not knowing which person, place, or thing the data refers to, again, the UCLA problem. The other problem stems from poor data quality, kind of a catch-all. Missing data elements, duplicate records, flat-out incorrect data, like the city and the country don't match up, okay? So again, that record's just not fit for purpose. And the third problem we see is a lack of ability to interconnect that data so that, let's say, my fulfillment system, my finance system, and my authentication system aren't all speaking the same language, so that when a university places an order for a journal, I'm not serving up the right content for them because somewhere between here and here, a connection got missed because the data, the systems aren't able to speak to each other, okay? So we're talking today about end users, and who are they? They fall into a lot of different roles. There are readers, there are authors, reviewers. I come out of a long history of member society publishing, so there are members and volunteers, meeting attendees, faculty. And we all know it's often the same person playing 7 or 8 different roles. But our systems are set up to talk about those folks in a functional way. Okay, so here's my member database, and here's my author database, a peer review system, and oh, here's all the lists of people who signed up for my TOC alerts. Okay? And it really impacts our marketing and outreach if we can't link that stuff up. And who are our institutions? Okay? Same thing with institutions. One organization may play multiple roles and interact with a publisher in play different functions. They're the affiliations of authors, individuals, editors, reviewers, and they're also the organization, maybe the funder of research. It's who's going to pay for that APC if we're talking about an open access journal. They're member organizations, and of course they're licensees and subscribers and consortia. So again, the ability to interconnect that data, if that kind of breaks apart, we really can't do actionable things with it and get the good big picture that we need to make good decisions about marketing and outreach. So just as an example, a couple of years ago, I was working to understand the full financial impact of institutions that had subscribed to my publisher's journals, but also had paid APCs for one of our major open access journals. I needed to find how much money was Harvard worth to us. But because we had no unique ID for those institutions and the systems weren't talking to each other, a query that should have taken an hour or so took us like a week and a half to figure out. Okay, so we couldn't really do anything actionable with that information. No, it doesn't want to. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I pushed that button though, it didn't work, but thank you. I'll just keep talking. Okay, where are institutions, where are we? Ah, here we go. I'm resumed. I'm not touching, there's only one button I'm touching from now on. Okay, there it is. Oh wait, so of course, hold on. So the screen and the other thing aren't working together, but whatever. Okay. You know where I'm going with this. So again, what can we do if we actually can join up this data and resolve some of our data quality issues? I'm going to be okay. I'm almost done, so I'm going to just go with it. But thanks so much. Thanks. It's okay. No, I don't. Well, if you could hang out until the next person says, I don't want to hand it off to somebody else. What happened? But if we can join our people and our places, two of our most important entity types, then we really can realize a lot of big benefits and gain a lot of actionable information. So strictly from a marketing and sales point of view, we're thinking we can really target outreach and do deep market knowledge about who we're trying to reach, about our authors, our end users, and what institutions they're affiliated with. But we also make this, the whole point of this session today is to talk, we're really turning our focus from institutions to add end users and individuals into our kind of systematic outreach programs, because they've gained in in importance to us. So the benefits, oh, sure, I can market to that person and that person. It's contextual, and I can really reach the right person at the right place with a targeted message. But it also creates a much smoother experience for those valued authors and end users, okay? You can create a more friction-free environment for them when they're, say, paying APCs in your open access journal. Or on an editorial side, we can resolve conflicts of interest when we see that the author and the reviewer are from the same organization or the same family of organizations, okay? So what solutions are out there? Pushing all the buttons. Whatever. Oh, time? Thank you very much. So what solutions are out there? Okay, so for the 3 problems I had outlined before, entity management, one of the things I can suggest is obviously add persistent identifiers. I'm from Ringgold. I'm going to tell you about the one for Ringgold IDs for institutions, but there's also ISNI's funder IDs, depending on the role the organization is playing. And for people, there are ORCIDs. You really want to have a persistent identifier for each kind of component, you know, people, places, and things. Of course, we're all really familiar with DOIs and ISSNs and things like that, manuscript identifiers. But adding the person and the place together along with that, the piece of content will really be very helpful. From a data quality perspective, you know, that incomplete, old, outdated stuff, depending on your requirements, you know, how can we clean this stuff up? You may opt to both perform like a retrospective cleanup of several years of data, or simply start with a clean slate and improve your records going forward, and your needs will depend on, you know, your implementation will depend on your requirements. For an example, we have a lot of clients now using Identify to capture the authoritative affiliation for users, kind of the moment that record is created in, say, a peer review system. And we're using this with Scholar One and Aries and peer review systems, and CCC for APC calculation. And to the issue of interoperability, there are really as many solutions for this as we have clients. We all are running our own unique array of systems and ingest data in a lot of different ways. So those will really be kind of publisher to publisher. But the solutions around entity management and data quality are pretty clear. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jenny Rankin of Annual Reviews, who's going to tell us how to do it all. So thanks so much.